They certainly do. And Andy Farrell isn't renowned for the hairdryer treatment, but I'd imagine he gave a version of it in the sheds.
For contest.
They've had far too many handling errors and just lacked the killer punch that we associate with Ireland teams in the past number of years.
Ireland cleverly choosing to put Robbie Henshaw in the air, hoisting him up to try to beat that chase of Suaalii, and it worked on the restart. This is Len Ikitau.
Do well to keep hold of that.
For our scrum half is Jake Gordon. And their captain, Harry Wilson.
Use it!
For Australia, the physical challenge, I guess, of a shorter six-day turnaround after flying across from Edinburgh. The mental challenge as well. Ireland know they need to be that much better. Aki. Gibson Park. Porter. Here's Caelan Doris. Prendergast finds low.
Well done, Seven. Well done.
Doris once more.
Away!
Moving into his opposite number, Wilson.
Advantage one in the wrong side.
The penalty goes against James Slipper, I think. So this ball that Ireland can gamble with, the gamble didn't last long.
Yeah, McWright attacks the ball. Referee tells him to leave it, not because he was illegal, but because the runway coming in for the Ireland support players was blocked. James Slipper, the man that preventing the clear out for the Irish. Rips ended up going to ground, and McWright has to leave that.
7 legal, 1 on the wrong side.
143rd test for James Slipper. He overtakes Sergio Parise today. Richie McCaw, Sam Whitelock, Alan Wynne-Jones, the only ones who have played in more test match rugby now than Slipper. And here is Sam Prendergast. Young Leinster fly half looking to stitch himself into this jersey that for so long was worn by another Leinster fly half. You can always rely on Sexton to kick his kicks, and so too it would seem Prendergast.
Yeah, much better connection than the conversion. Was quite the wobbly one. Must have unnerved him a small bit, but 40+ meters out right in front. It's meant to be kicker's bread and butter, and he made it look exactly that. Good start. The second half
will be really upset with that start. Just a gift. An easy 3 points in front of the sticks from 40 out when you're not really under any pressure. A bit of communication needed to help McWright there in his decision making.
No, free! Use it!
Gibson Park turning around onto his right foot. Right, Australia's fullback.
Nice, Tommy!
Tupou. Alasia, Slipper. Suaalii. Oh, it was a pass that interested Matt Hansen. And Australia in the end finding themselves in an awkward situation that Valentini does what he can to rescue. It's Kelleher trying to hold him up.
Does so well, Valentini there, just to stay on his feet until the cavalry arrives.
And use it! And 2, 1.
It was a kick to chase, but nobody bothered to chase, so simple enough for Ireland.
No numbers out here, so he's got to go to the kick pass.
And he finds low. Needs some mates. Gibson Park's there, and Gibson Park did really well because he lost the weight battle there with Wilson, but technically did enough to make sure it's Ireland's ball.
That was the issue with the isolation of James Lowe. There was no one outside Sam Prendergast except for that kick pass. He went to it, but then the key support had to get on their bikes.
Henshaw. Volume rises in Dublin 4. Prendergast. Josh van der Fleer. Ireland's only trying the first half. Knocked backwards by Paenga Ramosa. Hansen. Henshaw. Low juggling, losing it. And then around the back from Lolosio. And up the line from Gordon.
It's a really good option from Sam Prendergast. It's also static, but he does spot James Lowe as winger out wide, but the isolation, he fights in the tackle, and as you mentioned, it was Gibson Park was the one that managed to get in, make sure the first player was cleaned. This is really tidy defending from Kellaway. He wasn't going to buy any level of dummy from Henshaw and just stayed out, knowing that whoever was defending inside him would have mapped up.
Kellaway and Wright defending really well together. Right there, he showed Lowe the outside, trying to make him step back inside him because he knew that Kellaway was getting back and would make the tackle if Lowe stepped off the touchline. That's exactly what played out.
Gibson Park, Prendergast, Josh van der Fleer again into Valentini. You'll have seen Alan Alatoa on for Taniela Tupou in Australia's front row. The ball was swirling around, and in the end, gratefully, Lolosio grabs it. Prendergast on halfway. Keenan clapping for it, getting it. Mac Hansen involving himself now, running back towards us and then into green and gold. Australia's defence organised. Doris, Prendergast. Oh, Keenan! Splattered by Suoliti.
It's a great read. Makes an attempt to wrap. There's a bit of booing. They think it's a shoulder charge.
Quality of Australia's defence, in-your-face defence.
They're reading through, they're staying short for the short runners and then reading through so well at the moment.
Prendergast got away with it. Robbie Henshaw. Joe McCarthy. Gibson Park. Byrne.
Australia also committing hardly any numbers to the rucks that they know they're not going to win. At worst, one body in, and that allows everybody else to fan out, get the spacings.
Keenan to chase. Kellaway underneath it. Oh, Keenan got there first and did brilliantly to hold on and then wrestle it back in Aki's direction. Listen to the noise. Porter. Oh, bouncing ball. Slowed things up for Ryan. But the chase of Keenan. And then the loose ball, and McWright has it. Ireland penalty.
Wright leans over the ruck and slaps the ball out. That's the penalty. It's a shame for the Wallabies because their defence has been outstanding. As Brian was saying, staying connected when there's an opportunity. They make the late decision to fly out of the line, as we saw with that Suoliti tackle. But they're staying so well connected. This is the Keenan ball, 4.9, the ball in the air in terms of hang time, and that gives him the opportunity to almost bypass Kellaway. Well, actually, should have been a knock on there because it touches the Australian's hand after it comes off Keenan.
Speak when you need to speak. Thank you. Okay, we play. No now, number one.
8.5 minutes into the second half. Ireland 5 metres out. Byrne. Gibson Park beyond Aki, instead to Lowe, and Henshaw held up, but Doris scores! Under the posts, and maybe this birthday party won't fall flat. Ireland level.
That's a lovely movement. First to drag all that Wallabies defence in with the narrow lines. Suali'i makes a great shot there, but all those orange gold shirts all congested around the breakdown. And Doris, having been given the space under the sticks, runs that arc perfectly into a one-on-one and clatters over the line for the score.
How often we see Jameson Gibson Park, when he's in that scrum half position, missing that first would-be ball carrier, sits the defence down on the inside, makes them commit and flashes it across the front of them, and Doris was the happy recipient. It's really nice square line from McCarthy. He's the one that interests the inside defenders. Doesn't allow any of them to drift out onto Doris, and when he's got only a few yards from the line, he's a good ball carrier. It's only going to be one outcome.
Now Ireland working at a point a minute. Start of this second half, and they are ahead for the first time. Restart claimed by Ryan, again buffeted as you'd expect by Joseph Okuso Suali'i. Try scorer Doris. Jack Conan, by the way, fit again, captaining Leinster to a comeback win against Ulster last night, so Conan may be around for the Six Nations. Meantime, Australia with Gordon with ball that was spilt, and Valentini trucks it up again. Paenga Amosa holding on to it. Andrea Piani getting out of the way just in time.
Not quite. It did end up hitting him. I think it might have actually megged him, but it had taken the direction out of the Australian attack.
Time off, player on the ground.
So there's Jack Conan. Scars of battle from a night in Belfast. Australia with the scrum, and a couple of new props to bed in here. Alan Alatoa has been joined by Isaac Kailea. That's what Ronan Keller has been
Okay,
up
guys,
to.
come here. Wait for time on. Wait. When I say crouch, time on. Guys, that's a mark. Go.
Lots of Ireland changes. Tom O'Toole is 18, Ian Henderson is 19, and you'll know him. Peter O'Mahony about to come on for the 110th time for his country. He walked out with the team alongside his son Theo, who is a mascot today. Fantastic crowd inside the Aviva applauding themselves for their rendition of Fields of Athenry.
Crouch! Boy! Set! Keep it up, elbow up!
Ireland not making the changes just yet. So this, a final scrum for those about to be replaced. Lolaseo, Ikitau, Suali'i. Seen much of him as an attacking threat, ball in hand so far, a lot of chasing. Lolaseo right, Kellaway to his left. Van der Fleer buffeted out of the way by Wilson. That was good work, but the ball's loose and Ireland have it.
Australia fuming that maybe came off a Van der Fleer boot as he was slowly getting back into an onside position.
Use it! Two!
Gibson Park's kick. Through the side, but Ryan has it for Ireland, but not for long. Holding on to it too long.
First man on the ball.
Initially,
14 gold.
a Really, really good counter ruck from Ireland. Australia felt it was illegal. They've been at this for the afternoon. It's Bundee Aki, and then it creates the space for Tadhg Beirne to come in at the side. The ball is out. And then on the turnover, they turn over possession because the player gets isolated.
It's a really good tactic on the counter ruck. You saw Bundee Aki was actually lying on the floor, so he then becomes not a threat to those players in and around the breakdown, but he gets back up once everything's calmed down, and then he counter rucks back over the ball.
So Peter O'Mahony amongst this raft of replacements. Ireland captain, Lions captain. He's 35 now. Inevitably, we begin to wonder how much longer the likes of Peter O'Mahony can go on for, but no suggestion that he's nearing the end of the track. Well, that's taken short and cleverly, but Ireland red Williams. This is the new man, Kylea. Gordon. Alatoa. Tourist tips from his brother Michael, who spent some time in this city not so long ago. Ikitau. It's been a while since Australia had some ball, asked some questions, and Ireland doing what they can to make sure this latest thrust forward doesn't last long. It's an Australian
First infringement, 17.
penalty.
The ball carrier. He cannot place the ball because you continue to grab him.
I think it was Tom O'Toole
Guys,
who
option.
was picked out.
Post.
There he is.
Post called.
Holds onto it on the floor, doesn't he?
It's too late to release, preventing a good clean out.
You obviously have to great access to it, but when it's popped or propped up like that, it's going to reward fast play always, and when you slow it down, it's a penalty for him to pick up.
Lolaseo's penalty. Ireland's lead didn't last long, and Australia have had 3 trips to Ireland's 22, and on each visit they've come away with points. As Gary Ringrose comes on for Bundee Aki.
Good timing. And good access.
Valentini underneath the restart.
Use it!
Wilson, tackled by Ronan Kelleher.
Use it!
Ireland with the young Leinster hooker Gus McCarthy on the bench tonight.
Lacking in distance on the clearance, really prime attacking position. For Prendergast to go in, just have a word with his forwards.
Time
exactly the sort of ball he wants.
Time off. Guys, we play, please. Yeah, it's the second time right now that you go down. So, substitution. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Brandon Paenga-Amosa can be treated on the touchline because Billy Pollard, the ACT Bromby,
We wait him.
22-year-old, given his first tour minutes off the bench at Murrayfield last Sunday, gets a few more here. He's one of Joe Schmidt's 19 debutants over the course of 2024 as Schmidt looks to see what he has.
It needed change. You know, they were at a very low ebb, well documented. Everyone saw first time not to qualify from the group stages of a World Cup, so there was huge rebuild on, and Joe's gone about it in his own way.
Henshaw off a line-out won by O'Mahony. Gibson Park, Prendergast, Hansen, Keenan. Low. Prendergast, Kelleher and Beirne. Feels that every door Ireland have tried, Australia have had somebody on it.
I don't know, I think it's a combination of really good defence, but also Ireland's multi-phase attack just has not been the same since the World Cup. Particularly this Autumn Nation Series, every side has seemed to have answers every time they go wide, being able to read the short runner and then stay connected and move out wide.
Henshaw gives it another go.
No hands!
Andrew Goodman now in charge of Ireland's attack. This is Hansen, Prendergast.
Been really impressed with Suoli, how he settled into the role. Was a bit shaky on his first start defensively in terms of system, but tonight he has been absolutely spot on, being able to come in for those big hits, but also bounce back out if the ball goes.
Ireland losing territory here.
They're back in their own half temporarily. Kelleher. Prendergast. Now it's time for the kick. Oh, that's a clever one to find Keenan. Van der Fleer.
No, not 12.
Omani eager for possession. Prendergast. Hansen. Doris. Needed Kelleher to go in and create some space over the ball. Hansen once more. Henshaw. But again, a lot of Irish possession, not much meterage forward.
Again, it's about not committing to the ruck. Australia identifying when to leave it alone.
McWright charging through.
Release.
Billy Pollard
Use it.
claiming that the ball should have been his. Prendergast, quick readjustment of the position of the ball in his hands before he fired that away.
Old school spiral.
Right, Loliseo. Jorgensen, not quite. It's only 20, Max Jorgensen, playing today, I suspect, because Dylan Peach was injured early on in the tour, but again, another one of those players who has just solidified his reputation, given Joe Schmidt selection issues that he would have hoped to have had, and he absolutely does have. As Lukan Salakai-Lotto comes on. He replaces Jeremy Williams. He was another newbie this year, Williams.
Jorgensen always does you no harm when you score a try-winning effort against England in Twickenham, Allianz Stadium, Twickenham. Again, so much of playing Test match rugby at a young age is about the belief in yourself that you have the ability to get here and that you belong here, that you don't feel out of your depth. And when you have moments like that are game-winning moments, such a boon to you as a personality and obviously to your team that you've arrived and you're here to add serious value.
Oh, the Joe years here, good years. Six Nations titles, Grand Slams, historic wins against New Zealand. But he's come back to Dublin and he is threatening something special here again, this time for Australia. Hansen. Do Ireland have a key that works a little bit better than the ones they've tried so far?
9-7.
It's not a kick for anyone to compete for, really, much too close to Tom Wright.
Stay there, please.
There's been a few of them, haven't there? Non-contestables. Easy thing. It's one thing kicking it too long when the player's outside the 22, but they've been deeping in Australian territory and just gives them a chance to get the ball off the field, although not on this occasion.
A lot of it, from Ireland's perspective, is frustration because Australia have been so difficult to break down.
It's a beautifully placed kick right on the 22. And the mark was called by Loliseo under extreme pressure.
It's a good call too. It's not popular here, but he definitely did have 1 foot in his own 22, and that's all you need. Good awareness. Oh.
Yes, 1 foot in the 22. So mark is
1 foot airborne in the 22.
Let's have another look. This would have been
we
close.
put goal on the line, please.
Oh, yes. Despite the best efforts of Keenan.
Substitution for Australia, number 21, Jake McDermott, replacing number 9, Jen Gordon.
Wallaby change at scrum half. That's Tate McDermott, Queensland Red. He's been a proper bag of space dust every time he's come on this tour. Popping around. Creates things. There's Australia hold on to this 1 point lead.
Australia were lucky on that one. Looked as though someone jumped the line. Was it Kellaway was the one that was leading the line speed? Yes, he's one of the quickest on the field, but it felt as though he preempted the jump, got away with it.
Guys,
Referee Piardi or his assistant referees didn't see the same way.
What's called?
And now
60 seconds now.
Great option to go for the shot. It's a complete shot to nothing. It's such a easy penalty to be given and gifted on a plate. Difficult kick, but no real momentum in the game for Australia. If this goes over,
Guys,
just a big psychological boost for them.
No water, guys.
Once again, no breeze to bother about inside this bowl of the Aviva. It's a still weekend in Dublin. Heading into the final quarter, where's this ball heading? Exactly where Noah Lolaseo wanted it to head. And the lead once more, 4.
If you're an Irish player out there, worryingly, that cleared the crossbar by a long way. It just factors in as the game stays tight going into the final quarter. We might just be thinking maybe we don't compete quite as hard at breakdowns anywhere in our half, certainly, but maybe even back to our own 10-metre line.
Wilson.
No, Andrew.
It's a proper sleeves rolled up player, Harry Wilson, isn't he? He's not spectacular. He's not going to headline Glastonbury, but he gets the job done. Prendergast. Porter.
What is it?
What an Ireland. O'Toole thumped that in, but look who it was. It was Wilson again. Henshaw. Now Henderson. Recommitted himself to Ulster and to Ireland recent weeks. Prendergast, Henshaw. Busy once more. Keenan, but James Lowe was rather on his heels.
got all the answers at the moment. Having to resort to those little grubbers in behind. Effective because the ball was kept in the field of play. But McDermott did a great job in the backfield, buying his pack a little bit of time to regather.
Use it! And 2-1.
McDermott, as Andrea Piardi counted down the 5 seconds that he had to effect the clearance. Well, his final game in an Ireland tracksuit for a while before he heads off to the British and Irish Lions. He's got a recce planned to Australia in the new year. Simon Easterby will be stepping up for the Six Nations. It goes without saying that a defeat here this evening would not be part of the plan.
There's another couple of changes coming down below us. You could see Andy Farrell motion or speaking into his microphone. It needs change and it needs life this game. It needs a bit of direction.
It's the third line out that Ireland have lost. Ikitau for Australia. Thought about the kick, but he'd also then noticed that Keenan had gone across the cover. Here's Kailea. Ireland, by the way, about to change their halfbacks by the looks of things. Craig Casey and Jack Crowley down below us. The two Munster 9s and 10s. Ricocheting off the knees of Kelleher. Gibson Park, who will be one of those about to make way, it would seem.
No under pressure.
Lolaseo. 15 minutes to go. And Australia heading towards one of their big wins of 2024.
It's just because they're frustrating Ireland. I mean, Ireland have caused some of their own problems. 15 handling errors they've made today, 3 lost line-outs, but some of that is down to the pressure that playing against a very, very accurate defence has caused.
So it is Crowley for Prendergast. Crowley, who looked very much like Johnny Sexton's appointed successor for much of this year, starting the bulk of the games, and the roars. We see Gus McCarthy and also Cian Healy about to come on to create a major slice of
Another stolen line-out, though.
Irish history.
Get it back, but no surprise that now's the time Gus McCarthy's given his bout.
runs in time.
Number 17,
Brian O'Driscoll, 133 caps. Cian Healy, 134. Nobody has worn the jersey more now than the Dubliner. And straight away, he's about to do what he enjoys doing most of all.
A brilliant moment. And what a great teammate Brian O'Driscoll is. He's in floods of tears alongside me, very emotional.
It was nice while it lasted.
He won't be worrying about records at the moment. There's work to do. Casey, and then Crowley, and now Henshaw. And it's been a while since they got around Australia's defence. They very nearly did it there, Ireland. And again, Crowley providing the acceleration and the impetus. Casey to another replacement, Gary Ringrose. Casey, cubes.
It was actually a really good option, just a bad execution.
Ireland still have it, the scrum half still has it. Craig Casey has come on full of beans. Burn! Ball's lost forwards, loose from Ireland, and now Australia and Jorgensen, and that's been deflected out of play. A busy minute or so.
Oh yeah, really good bit of defence. Oh, you're right, good option.
It's actually a really nice option. He just gets way too airborne, and it didn't need to be. It needed to be like Sam Prendergast had kicked that kick pass a few minutes ago, really flat and direct, because it was the only way he could get the ball to his winger. The passing option had been taken away by too many numbers in the passing channel. Great option, just didn't quite get the execution as he would have hoped, albeit Ireland held possession.
Cian Healy now part of that huddle. He was 22, by the way, when he made his debut against Australia across the city at Croke Park in 2009. He's 37 now. Played that day alongside Jerry Flannery and John Hayes, and he scored a late try, Brian. It was a big day for you, that, your 100th test.
He's really laying it in deep into me, isn't he? Trying to take Australia from all of my good memories. Yeah, it was, as I said before the game, he brought something completely different. Really wasn't in vogue back in the late 90s or the late 90s. This ability to carry ball, footwork, agility, power, good scrummager. Really worked on his ball handling over the course of his career. But on top of it all, an incredibly humble, great teammate, and that's why there's such a likability factor in the crowd here and amongst all of his teammates.
Big pressure thrown out. Ireland's line-out's not been functioning. In terms of defence, one of the very best on the field. And Omani.
Billy Pollard picks out Frost, and Lonoseo, not the easiest of passes, but he did what he needed to do.
As well to get that ball away, and the big pressure from Tyke Byrne. Certainly connected with the new scrum half.
He's checking, nothing clear.
Just 22. McCarthy as well, 21. Ireland and Australia's futures side by side in the hooking department. Goes to the front, picks out Bird. Casey did well to find Crowley. Just waited for the gap to open. Casey's passing a real feature. Last week against Fiji, there's proper bite to it.
He's taken some great options already since he's come on. He's provided that zip, but made really good decisions when it hasn't been on.
Crowley. O'Mahony eager to get involved. This is McCarthy. Just getting used to the hoopla of all of this. And he's won it back. More so, Australia conceding the penalty. Henshaw to Keenan. Again, the kick through that Lowe was not chasing, however. Bit more than 10 minutes to go here. There are 3 points on offer.
there's
Do you
an
back
option.
them?
Yeah, we're getting into All Black territory against France.
You have an option,
Similar
guys, 2
situation.
penalties, late charge
They
over
decided
there,
to
or
kick
not rolling
the goal.
away here. You want a late charge?
I
Okay,
think
give me
Ireland
the
will go
mark.
corner, something that they've
Only 15.
done continuously, backing themselves. Cam
Same
Crowley,
penalty
Max
against the
Prendergast,
Wallabies.
first 60
Here,
minutes
first
with
late charge.
accuracy into the corner, getting as tight to that 5 metre as he can.
It's such a big play for them, the tight line-out drives, hasn't it, Ireland? But those points that were on offer, not a good enough kick. It's 10 metres out. But those points that were on offer would have changed how Australia were able to compete at the breakdown
Number, guys.
when it's under a 3-point game. But here we go.
Henderson, Josh van der Fleer, linking in, Logo's in, Doris engages, Ireland to the line, held up.
Green on my side.
Oh, it's Callaway underneath it.
Not
Just
for me, clearly green on the ground.
maybe riding the ball, riding over,
You have anything
with
for-
Gus
over to my
McCarthy.
decision, Nika? Perfect.
and
Green
really
on-
impressing
green on the
again
ground on my side.
defensively.
We've seen Ireland in the past having really good options from this goal line dropout. Whether Australia go a little bit shorter, the target man is usually Doris to get the ball into his hand, and then a strike play off the first or second phase.
Here goes Doris into Salakai Lotto. The new hooker, Gus McCarthy. He was held on to by Wilson and co. Henshaw, Keenan. Byrne, Henshaw. He's held on to by Swali'i.
Away goes.
O'Mahony. And then Crowley. And Henderson with his oomph. Byrne, Healy. Little clip through from Crowley. Oh, Wright couldn't take the chance. He had to run it out, but it'll be a big line out now for both sides.
Ref's not sure, sorry, the referee's assistant's not sure he wants this checking. I think Wright touches it before it goes out.
Really, the Irish halfback pairing. Two Munster boys have brought a really good energy, exactly as Andy Farrell would have hoped for. Good options, a little bit more direct, running with speed and creating a little bit of chaos. Good
It's a
variety to
critical
their play.
moment, so we take our time and we deliver the right decision.
So we're just checking with the TMO Eric Gozat that Wright did carry this out, and it will be an Ireland throw.
I believe.
This is the angle.
It's actually on the line, I think, when he actually gathers it.
He's taking the ball.
Runs first.
He's taking the ball
Okay,
out. He's
green
taking
line
the
out.
ball out. So it's a green.
Well, it was a matter of studs, a matter of millimetres. They might be big millimetres here for Ireland, taken by Henderson. The Aviva adds it draw. Advantage for Ireland. They can shove for all their worth, knowing they'll get the ball back. They've got more than that. They've got what they wanted. And Gus McCarthy living his best life. The try may be to rescue the birthday party.
Well, there's different ways to skin a cat. Sometimes you get the setup right, you take your time, you're really slow, and then almost like a scrum, you start it moving. This was a hit and rush from Ireland. Land, and as soon as they land, they started running towards the line and banked on the fact that Australia had just given away a penalty for pulling it over. There's the penalty, and now they've got a free shot. They can just run to the line knowing that they can come back. And McCarthy keeps himself free, keeps himself hidden, and dots the ball over.
Jack Crowley's conversion. Australia relinquish the lead. Ireland now ahead by 3.
It's an important kick as well from Jack Crowley. We see a replay of that all-important try, because now it probably makes up Australia's mind for them. Will they be looking for a draw, or will they be looking for an outright win? You'd have to think the latter, so they can be a bit more brave to give away the odd penalty around here.
Significant change for Australia. They brought on young Tane Edmed for his debut for Waratah, who plays his rugby in Sydney. Lungy Gleeson has come on as well for Rob Valetini.
Edmed certainly exciting. Really good feet.
Right and low going up together. It came back off low, and Wright gives it away to Van der Fleer. So back we come for the knock-on.
For me, just a knock-on by Green.
There's Tane Edmed, Wallaby number 990. And the 19th, as we were saying, this year to be given a debut by Joe Schmidt. Very, very exciting prospect, and another that Schmidt's doing more than having a look at. He's got a little over 5 minutes to bend this test match back in Australia's way.
Coach! Boy! Sir!
McDermott beyond Edmed to Ikitau. Swali head down hard into Crowley.
Take on now, and ball is here. Ball is here, people now. Ball out.
Wilson. Kylea carrying it beyond the 10-metre line. McDermott. Lungy Gleeson. Now Edmed. Passing to McWright. And his pass to Tom Wright, not sympathetic.
Just not quite the flow for Australia. A little bit static, maybe some new bodies involved, just causing a few little hesitations.
He doesn't get hold of it in his hands, does he, McWright? He never gets a full grip of the ball. He's grabbing the top of it, and as a result, it's an unnatural action, throwing the ball out the back. He doesn't get the rotation on it, and that's why it's stuck inside shoulder of Wright. It's just the small margins between success and failure in those situations. Difference between grabbing hold of a ball cleanly and just catching it awkwardly.
Crouch! Boy! Side!
Craig Casey started a week ago against Fiji. Job of closing things up here. Linking once again with Crowley, and Henshaw linking with Crowley. Ooh, and Jack Crowley's kick. One he would like back.
I think Edmed's straight off the field. The physio spotted him. Took a big collision as he tried to make the tackle, tried to get himself back into the defensive line, and his own physio effectively came and tackled him. Really good work by the medic.
Yeah, he's gone. Guys, HIA 22.
It's a debut that sadly for Tane Edmed won't last long, but you can be guaranteed we'll see much more of him in 2025. Here's the collision.
I got injured in the
the hip,
tackle.
isn't it?
Yeah, nothing legal.
Again, we've seen it. We see it so often. It's actually a good tackling position.
HIA.
But as soon as that hip comes in, the hardest parts of your body to come in, doesn't quite get his head to the side. The impact is with his head rather than the shoulder, and oh, you got to feel sorry for the young man.
Okay. We play, guys.
You've got to feel sorry for Noah Loloseo as well, who had just lit up his end-of-year cigar. Hope it wasn't an expensive one. He's had to stub it out. He's back with us.
Such a shame
Guys,
for
please,
Edmed,
number,
but
skip out.
absolutely the right
5.
call.
3 minutes to go.
Time back on when I say time back on. Wait.
This is the game that both sides will carry into Christmas with them, into the new year with them, for Ireland into the Six Nations with them. And at the moment, it is Ireland just. Swali'i trying to get it away quickly, too quickly. Pocketed by Ringrose.
Step back.
Healy. This is Gus McCarthy, whose try gives Ireland the lead. Keenan opted not to use Crowley. Doris, now Crowley. Henshaw. Hunted down by Harry Wilson. McCarthy. Crowley. Keenan. Low. This is Van der Fleer. Australia still working so hard defensively. You can count the gold shirts. And then Hansen to Byrne, and Keenan would have been away if Byrne could have somehow managed to clear it, but he couldn't. And Australia will have a scrum, 2 minutes to go. Not many opportunities left for them now.
Let's go, guys. Let's go.
Just wondered whether Alan might just keep the ball, try and frustrate Australia into jumping out the line or trying to solve the problem, giving away a penalty.
Time off. 14
But
off.
they have one more shot.
Well, debut as a starter on the first test try at Murrayfield last weekend, although he had to wait until the 75th minute. A 79th minute try for Potter, an 80th minute try would be more than acceptable. Who's on for Kellaway, who's had another impressive game.
Crouch! Ball! Sack! Reset. Time off. Time off. That's a mark.
Importantly, the referee stops the clock.
Guys, watch me. Wait the ball. Not hit and chase, okay? And keep the hit. That's the only thing. I said them, not hit and change, and then stay on the hit.
Imagine
Yeah.
the Wallabies wouldn't
No
want to keep this in
pre-bind, guys.
too long and
Let's go.
risk penalty. Drop the ball
No pre-bind.
in on the boot directly to Harry Wilson's hands.
Crouch! Ball! Stop! Keep it up! Keep it up! Ball out! No out!
Battle for the ball, Australia penalty.
Clear the hands. One post ball, clear the hands.
Josh Van der Fleer.
It might have been Craig Casey actually who did the flip tackle,
Clear
and
the
then
hands by
just
6.
a little bit too much.
That's sorry.
Him and Van der Fleer went into the collision collectively. Not sure if we're going to get to see it from those pictures.
Well, there'll be England supporters watching this, knowing what the Wallabies are capable of, with time very nearly up, particularly when you've got willing runners like Tom Wright still around.
No hands, no Peter.
Final few seconds of the 80, crashed up by Ala Alalatua. Lola Sale, Swali, still time for something magical from him at the end of the contest. Now it's Ireland defending grimly, defending winningly. That'll do it. And Ireland end their year with a win. They send Andy Farrell off to the Lions with a win. Scruffy, but just enough to see off a Wallaby side who will head into 2025 with a bagload more beans than they came into 2024. A record-breaking day, a winning day for Cian Healy.